This is Chippy from carrypad.com with the Aigo Pad N700, and in this video I want to give you a look around the device, give you an idea of what the device is about as I've had it for a couple of weeks and been testing it out. It's not actually available on the market in Europe and America yet. This is the Chinese company that has it in China already, I believe. This version is a CDMA EFDO version for the US market, so I haven't been able to test 3G capability here. But I'll give you a look around the device, and we'll go through some of the specs, turn it on, and give you some demos. So here's the Aigo Pad in the box. Let's just take that out and show you what's also in the box. We've got a very basic package of power supply, headset. There's a USB charger that goes to power supply. I've taken that out, and the usual paperwork. Nothing much else in there. So a quick look around the device, which has been supplied by Think4 IT Solutions in the UK, who are distributors and resellers of mobile products. Thanks to them for sending it over. Mention again that this is a production sample which is being used to assess whether it's ready for market. Overall, the build quality is actually really nice. There's some good quality materials being used here, although this is plastic. It's good quality plastic. There's a hard capacitive touchscreen. I don't think that that's Gorilla Glass. It does feel plastic. And then looking at the back, it's a nice rubberized finish, which when you compare it to the Tab, provides it with a nice, easy to hold, friction back. So that's useful for people using ebooks. It goes in this alignment, and you've got on the top right 3 capacitive touch buttons: home, menu, and back. There's no search button here, and then there's this little kind of nice design feature here, but it does kind of hide that there's a little wider frame on the right hand side than there is on the top and the left. Going around the device then, it's not too much to see. We've got power button here on the top left. Going around to the right hand side, this is your micro SIM SD card slot. Here is the headphone port on the bottom. Here is, interestingly enough, because this is a CDMA EFDO version, this is a SIM card slot, which you usually see on a GSM, UMTS style device. I've tried putting my SIM card in there. It doesn't recognize it, but it does recognize that something's gone in and it reboots the device. So not quite sure what's going on there. I'm a little bit confused by that. I think that there will be obviously having UMTS and GSM devices as well. This is interesting. It's a little kind of maglock style power connector. You can put the connector in both ways, and it's magnetically attached, which means if you walk along and kick the cable, it just comes apart nicely and doesn't drag the tablet onto the floor and smash it into a million pieces. There's the microphone, and on the left hand side, simply rocker, volume rocker up and down, which can be reprogrammed for other things in Android. On the back, as I said, that nice smooth finish, no replaceable battery, and a speaker port on the bottom right, and that's mono speaker, and it's actually pretty good. So let's switch the device on, and I'll talk about some of the specs as we boot up. So this is a WVGA screen, so that's 800 by 480. That's not class leading right now. It's also running Android 2.1, and it's also running an ARM v6 processor. It's probably the well, it's a Qualcomm. It's probably the MSM7227, which is a very common processing platform used in smartphones. So it's not the fastest of devices as well. So those 3 things really put it down into the sort of budget category. But having said that, Aigo do have a nice design here that I think would only require a processing upgrade, and of course the software for it to be actually a very competitive product. This is the Chinese version I've got here. I've managed to change the language, and you can see that they've actually put some overlay widgets on there. You can actually get rid of those, so don't worry about that too much. Otherwise, it's a fairly standard Android experience. Here we've got the menu system, and I want to highlight the fourth possible problem with this device is that it's not Google Market certified. So all the apps you see on here, like Angry Birds, like Amazon Kindle, are apps that I've sideloaded myself from other Android devices using the APKs that have been backed up. So what you get with it is a basic open source Android experience of browser, and unfortunately on this one the Aigo browser is built for the Chinese market, so the search engines are all Chinese focused. I'll just start that up and we can browse to a few things to show you what's going on. And we're over Wi-Fi here, of course. Let's go to no haptic feedback that I've found, although it does mention it in the settings. Carrypad.com. Whoops. And that is making my typing experience a little bit less efficient than normal. I'm really used to that on the Galaxy Tab now. There's no rotation in this browser either. It seems to be locked to landscape, which is a crazy idea because thumb typing in portrait mode is much easier than in landscape mode. It does auto-rotate in other applications though. So let's go to a proper web page, full fat web page. Sorry, that's just the article itself. We need to highlight that this is not running Flash or anything like that. So it really is a very basic Android experience right now. It's got a couple of Aigo specific applications in it. Let's just wait for that page to load. It's not the quickest with the ARM 11 CPU on the ARM v6 architecture, but if you're using it for casual browsing it might be good enough. Let's go back to the home screen and we'll go to the music application, and you will see that this is slightly different to your average Android music experience. There we go, took a little bit of time to pop up there. But the layout's not too bad. It's using the screen space quite nicely to show playlists, music, albums and artists, and the volume and sound quality is actually pretty good as well. There's also a video player on here, and I'm not sure whether they've included codecs for anything other than H.264, but given that this is the probably the MSM 7227 platform, it's not going to play HD anyway, so this is not going to be your video device. It does have a GPS in it, does have, I believe, an ambient light sensor, and of course it's got the phone capability as well. If I could just demonstrate that it's got the software built in. Of course I can't make a phone call here because of the network we're on in Europe. But very much like the ViewPad 7 really. But when you look at the ViewPad 7, which has Google experience, it's already in the market for some time, it's been reviewed, it's almost a trusted device now. You wonder where Aigo could go with this except for as a low price option. So that's a preview of the Aigo N700. Summary is nice design. Actually, I like the design better than the what could be the equivalent really is the ViewPad 7. Nice plastics. Seems to be fairly rugged as well. I like the finish on the side, this rubberized finish. But it does need a processing platform upgrade. It needs the Google applications. It also needs, of course, version of 3G that I can use in Europe, but that's obviously something that can be sorted out. And what was the other thing? Google Apps, and yeah, the screen. Well, I think for a lot of things the screen isn't too much of an issue. For example, videos, gaming. The WVGA screen is actually optimal in those cases, also for navigation as well. So to keep an eye on the Aigo range of devices, I'm not sure that I expect this to come into the European and the US market. It will probably stay in the Asian market, I suspect. unless Aigo can come up with some very quick hardware and software upgrades that put this up with something like the ViewPad 7. This is Chippy from CarryPad.com saying thanks to Think4 IT Solutions for sending the Aigo N700 over, and thank you for watching.